Do you think that modeling has changed your outlook on confidence?
No.
Whoa.
In college, I drank a lot.
You were like a tank.
I took pride in that. Like, why?
Right.
That's definitely mentally ill. Like, it's modeling, you see like the final product, it's like a beautiful image. Like, you have to remember at the end of the day, it all goes back to capitalism.
So, modeling becomes your full-time thing. Then what? What's the day in the life like?
So the day to day is so different.
Yeah.
You know, there are weeks where I'm working almost every single day. And then like the past 2 weeks have been very quiet for me. There are certain seasons where it's busier. So I feel like because of like the cycle of things, work isn't always consistent. And I think that day to day, you really just have to take advantage of what you have in your control, because there's a lot in this industry that you can't control. You don't necessarily always know what a client is looking for at any given time.
Yep.
And especially with modeling being such an image-based industry and career, it's sometimes not that deep, you know, like whether or not you book a job, like maybe you're an inch too tall and like the other model that they booked on the shoot, they want you guys to be the same height.
Right.
Or it could come down to like, oh, they only want one person with red hair and one person with black hair. Like sometimes it's little things like that. So you really can't take it to heart and just focus on the things that you have control, because you really don't know when like your next booking will be.
Yep.
Like you could have a period of silence and then book like the biggest job of your life the next day. You know, you never know. So it's just really taking it day by day and doing what you can to be the best possible version of yourself.
But kind of what you were saying, going back to what you were saying like earlier, is like, how do you make that jive with your more like planning and perhaps structured way that you do things?
Yeah. So now, even if I have a day where I have no castings, I have no self-tapes to do, I don't have a job, I will structure out my day so that like every hour is allotted to something. So it'll be like, even if it's something that's not career related, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like 1 hour I need to read, 2 hours I need to go to the gym. Like I try to structure it so that no second of the day is like going to waste.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
I think for some people that could actually be very stressful and like anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
But for me, it is like very comforting to know like, okay, even though I have X amount of hours, like I am making use of every single minute.
Got it. What's like the craziest like day that you've had when you are working, when you're modeling, you booked the thing?
I feel like show days are always really fun.
Yeah.
Even though they're like very short in terms of like the actual time that you're modeling, like you're literally walking on the runway, walking off. But there's just something about like the excitement and the adrenaline of being backstage, seeing the process of it all, you know, like getting to hear the designer talk about their vision for the collection, seeing like the makeup artists come together and collaborate to make sure that everything is fitting into this overall vision, like the photographers and the way that they're capturing it. It's just very cool to see like all the different pieces and moving parts come together. Yeah. So like I feel like show days are really fun. Most of the money that I make comes from doing e-commerce and more commercial work, and doing shoots. Oh, the day-to-day, sometimes it's really not that glamorous. Like me shooting e-commerce, 120 outfits, most of the time I'm changing.
Yeah. It's very like I'm getting the steps of a plot, like rising action, climax denouement, like a lot of like preparation for like this like quick moment, and then it's like you do it again.
Well, I feel like that's so many things in life, and I've come to realize that with a lot of the goals that I've accomplished in my life. It's like once I hit that milestone, it's like, oh, well, that's it. Not that it wasn't like fulfilling and it didn't bring me joy and I didn't find purpose, but it really comes down to the process. Like if you don't enjoy the process in whatever that you are pursuing, you cannot make it last. Yeah. I would say for the most memorable in recent times was doing the Guest campaign.
Yes.
That was so cool because I remember like showing up on set, it was at their office and they have all these huge posters up on the walls of all of their like historic, iconic campaigns in the past. Wow. And I'm like walking down the halls, walking to set, and it's just so crazy to see like so many photos of people that don't look like me. Yeah. Like it's the craziest feeling. And I feel like with this brand and a lot of brands that have like a very long history, there's a very specific archetype model associated with the brand. And for me, growing up, when I looked at guest models, it was very much blonde, blue eyes. If anything, the diversity was like a brunette.
Right.
So that was a crazy experience, like walking through their office and seeing all those iconic images and none of them looking like me, but also in like a really inspiring way. Like I wasn't looking at this feeling like, oh, I don't belong here. It was like, oh my gosh, like I kind of feel like I'm paving a path in a way.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I'm such a small part in a larger industry and larger world. But like in a moment like that, I was like, wow, like something that I am doing today and right now can have such a bigger impact to the future and like other people that see it.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I think back to like when I was a kid watching the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and like one of the first, if not the first, Asian model that they had, Liu Wen, like I remember looking at her and be like, oh my God, this is so crazy that like they had this beautiful like Asian woman on stage with all these other people that don't look like her. So I'm sure like maybe there's someone out there that will like see this and be like, wow, like there's an Asian guest model. And like maybe that could be me one day. Or it doesn't even have to be, I think, in the capacity of like modeling, right? I think just like representation in general, it doesn't have to be in a specific career or industry. I think just seeing like yourself in different contexts is inspiring. I would say for me, just on a personal level, when I think about my identity as an Asian woman, I think about my physical appearance and how that relates to my career. I feel like I try to detach my physical appearance from like who I am. And I really just view my body as like a vessel that I was given to walk this earth with. So I try to just do everything in my power to take the best possible care of myself.
Wow.
So for me, I feel like I don't really attach my like sense of self to my physical appearance or my body or my face, whatever.
Which I feel like is ironic because I feel like one could look at modeling and assume the opposite.
Yeah, I feel like
it is about your body. It is about but
it's just to me like another tool in your toolbox, which is an interesting way to think about things. But I, again, relating back to dance, I feel like I've always had this relationship with my body. It's just like taking good care of it so that it can allow me to do the things that I love to do. And knowing that sometimes with the territory, it means that I have to do certain lifestyle changes in order to accommodate that. But it all goes towards like the larger goal. So I can give you an example. When I was dancing for the Celtics, when I first made the team, I remember my coach telling me, like, because you are on the younger side, when I made the team, I was 18.
What?
Oh, no, 19. I was 19.
Still? Oh, my God.
Most of my teammates were, like, in their mid-20s. And she was like, because you do look younger, like, I need you to put on a little bit more weight and I need you to be a little bit more muscular. So then I started hitting the gym so hard. Like I started lifting every single day pretty much, which now looking back, I know that was like not the most effective way to go about things, but I gained so much muscle during my sophomore year and I'd never really looked that way. I feel like growing up, I'd always been like just like very, very slender. And I had like some muscle definition from dance, obviously, but I had never like bulked up muscles. And like sophomore year, I was like lifting in the gym all the time. And like that example for me, it's like, I never viewed that as like a bad thing. It was just like, it's a part of the job. And like, if she wants me to look a certain way, then it's just part of the job. I don't know. I don't really take it personally. And I think it comes with the territory. And it really is viewing dance as like, even though it's an art, also seeing it as like a sport, right? Like if someone were to go to like a basketball player and be like, you need to do X, Y, and Z to be able to be better at your job. Like that's how I viewed it. Like I have to train. I was doing so much more cardio too, because dancing for like the NBA, you're dancing for a very big stage in front of a lot of people. So your movements have to be very big. It's like a different style of dance than something for camera or something for just like a regular like concert hall, right? Like,
Right.
because you're in such a big venue, all of the movements are very full out. They're very big so that from far away you can see it. So like, I also had to train like cardio wise. I'd started running more because I had to be able to keep up, you know, like I can't not have the stamina to be able to perform in front of so many people.
Yeah.
So I take that and apply it to modeling. It's like, I know that I have to make certain lifestyle changes so that I can be the best possible version of myself in front of the camera. And that version looks different for everyone.
Yeah.
I just know that's what works for me, which is not what works for everyone else.
Has it ever gotten too strenuous or hard or made you think negatively about your body?
Not negatively about my body, but I think it has definitely made me reconsider some of my habits. But I think that it's only made me a better person. It's made me more health conscious. It's made me more aware of like what I'm putting into my body and just making sure that I'm doing everything in my power to take care of my health, and because it's such a huge part of like what I do.
Yeah.
Like I can't be unhealthy and do what I do.
I feel like the way that you treat your body is different than maybe how you treated it in college.
Oh yeah. In college I drank a lot.
You were like a tank.
And I feel like I took pride in that. Like, why?
Right.
That's definitely mentally ill. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like people are always like, how did you stop drinking?
Right.
And for me, it really wasn't that difficult of a decision. Like, I just made the choice. And for me, there was really not much in it to begin with.
Yeah.
I
Right.
never really liked the taste of alcohol. I didn't like the way that it made me feel. The reason why I drank so much in college was because I was trying to escape like difficult things that were happening in my life and difficult emotions that I didn't want to process. I just wanted to like numb that.
Yeah.
And I feel like coming to that realization was like, well, then there's truly nothing in it for me. It's not like
Right.
it's like good for my body either. And it's like,
Right.
I think also the tricky thing about alcohol is like you don't realize how many calories you're consuming in just like a single shot. And then I was like binge drinking all the time in college and with the goal of being like, I want to black out.
Yeah.
Like also there are a lot of people that love the way that they feel when they're drunk.
Yeah.
Or they love the taste of alcohol.
I can relate to the first. I can't relate to the second.
I just can't.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone who's like, oh, like modeling or, because it's so image conscious, it's like shallow or like toxic even?
I think that it really comes down to like perspective. Obviously, in any profession, you're going to meet people who are shallow.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think that like based off of my experience in the industry that the majority of models that I've met are shallow. If anything, I feel like I've met plenty of shallow people in finance.
Well, yeah, it's for sure. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely.
But I feel like because a lot of models know that their physical appearance plays such a huge role in their job, they have to go out of their way to be extra friendly, to be extra humble so that people don't perceive them the wrong way.
I see. Yeah.
Obviously, I think they're shallow, conceited people in all areas of life, but I don't think that I've found it like more so in modeling. But also I think that people have to remember like when you see the very glamorized sides of modeling, you see like the final product, it's like a beautiful image, someone just looking gorgeous and stunning. It's like, you have to remember at the end of the day, it all goes back to capitalism. Like it's all a business, right? And like when I'm on set, I'm not concerned about like, do I look my best? I'm concerned about, am I getting the job done? Am I giving the client what they're looking for?
Yeah.
It's not about like, what do I look to look my best when I'm on set for a specific purpose? It's more so, I need to make sure that the client leaves with the materials that they need to increase their sales or to give, tell the story that they want to tell and like present a certain vision for their brand. So I think that people forget that. It's like, not always about me, because when I'm on set, it's about the client. It's about the clothes. It's about the makeup. It's about whatever it is that I am shooting for. Like that needs to be the highlight. Like obviously I play a role in like bringing life to it, but it's not always about me. If the client has made a dress that is really long and they want to showcase the fact that it's so long, they're probably going to pick a taller model. if it's a hair curling product, like they're probably going to pick someone with a lot more hair that's not bald. Like sometimes it really just comes down to, again, what's going to sell the product. And I'm not saying like going about things one way is necessarily right or wrong. I think that's just the way that the system
world works.
Yeah. I kind of just detach myself from that, you know? It's like that's just the way that things are. Like my self-worth doesn't come from what people want.
Do you see yourself doing this for a long time? Again, this is something that I think I know the answer to, but
I feel like the older that I get, this is going to sound so cliche.
Say it.
I really feel like I already have everything that I want in life. And recently I did a self-tape where they wanted me to answer this specific question on camera. And the question was, what is your ideal day look like? So like I did describe my ideal day. And as I was coming up with my answer, I was like, wait, this is literally like my day-to-day life. Like I'm already living my dream. And I think that there's so many things I want to accomplish in life, but at the end of the day, like all the little things is what I'm like the most grateful for.
Wow.
In terms of if you want like a more concrete answer.
Well, what are those little things?
Like just being surrounded by people that I love and that love me, that inspire me and that I inspire. Like I feel like that is such a big one. And I have that right now. Like I feel like I have such an amazing inner circle. Like every time I hang out with one of my friends, I just feel so happy and like content, and I'm just like so grateful. Like I think I have like great people in my life. Another one is just like health. I think that like seeing a lot of people in my family not take care of themselves health wise, and seeing how quickly life can come at you, and like you can slowly start to see changes in your body that are affecting your like day to day and ability to do things that you enjoy. I feel like that's another huge one for me. It's just like my health. Like as long as I am healthy and I can continue to do all these things that I love, like that is such a huge blessing. And I feel like COVID played a big role in that, like because during COVID I couldn't really like take any dance classes. I've like danced in my living room every now and then, but that's one thing where I was like, oh my gosh, like if we were just like quarantined for the rest of our lives, like there's so many things that we wouldn't get to enjoy. So like now that we can enjoy it, like really fully take advantage of that. Especially for healthy, able-bodied people, like we so often take for granted the ability of our body to do so many things for us. And for me, like exercising and dance and moving my body is just a part of my way of life. Like I don't see going to the gym and exercising as like a punishment or like a difficult thing to do, because for me it's enjoyable, and two, it's like what a blessing to be able to even move my body like this. Like not everyone can do that. And I feel like we take that for granted.
Totally.
And I feel like that also goes back to the diet part. It's like if I have a healthy body, like why would I not do everything in my power to be able to like maintain that? You know? But a more concrete answer, I would love to continue modeling for the next few years. I think eventually I would want to do more of an intersection of fashion and dance and go more into like creative direction and movement direction. I think that would be really cool. I could also see myself going back to like the more businessy side of entertainment, like working at an agency, whether in finance or more on like the agent side. I don't know.
I mean, you do all of those so well. Like the embodiment of boss.
I think that life is crazy though. I could really see myself doing a complete 180 and like going into an industry that has nothing to do with any of this too. Like I am so open to what life has to offer and kind of like the beauty of the unknown. And I don't have a 5-year plan. I don't have a 3-year plan. I'm more of like a month-to-month kind of gal. And I think a lot of that, honestly, not to talk about COVID again, I think it stemmed from that, because I think when I graduated college going into my first job at Morgan Stanley, I had a very set vision of like what the next few years were going to look like. And then COVID completely changed that. And I think that that just goes to show, I mean, even with the fires in LA, it's like you could so quickly lose everything. Like you never know. So I think it's good to obviously have goals and like work towards something and plan, but also there's so much beauty and power in just like embracing the unknown and being open to what life has in store for you.
You're a model. Confidence is key. But like I feel like we don't really talk enough about like, okay, like what if, how do you actually get there? Like what if you actually just feel like really unconfident? Maybe it's your appearance, maybe it's how you're living your life, maybe you feel like you're like a flop. Like, do you think that modeling has changed your outlook on confidence?
No.
Whoa. Okay.
I feel like I've always been a pretty confident person, and that again stems from dance. And to me, like when I walk into a room where I might feel a little less confident or the stakes are really high, there's very important people in the room, it really is just like turning it on. Like before I step into the room, it's like stepping onto stage. Like I'm backstage and I'm like getting in the mindset of like, I'm playing this character. Like this is like what, 2 minutes on stage. This is going to be like 2 minutes in front of these casting directors. And then after I can turn it off. It's really like putting a hat on, taking it off. But I will say, I think confidence is a habit. I think it's like a muscle. It's muscle memory. Like, I think the more that you practice it, the more that it becomes second nature. And I don't think of myself, like, I don't consciously in my head think, oh, I'm a confident person. The only time I think about that is when someone asks me, how are you so confident? And I'm like, I don't even think about it. Because it's like a part of like who I am. And I feel like one thing that I actually struggle with is sometimes I feel like my confidence is so internal that it doesn't read externally. So like I've gotten feedback from like my agents, for example, where they're like, maybe you do need to be more outwardly
external
yeah. And in terms of modeling, be like posting more on social media.
Oh my God,
being a little bit more vocal about like what exactly you need. Because I feel like I'm very much, especially when it comes to like modeling and like my relationship to my agents, like I'll do whatever they tell me to do.
The assignment.
Yes. Like, but I won't go out of the way to be like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like that's kind of just who I am. And I know
you like possibilities and
I could also benefit from like being more vocal about what I want, but I'm also like, I can make it work, and like whatever you want me to do, like I will do it.
Wait, do you want to can we know a little bit about, because we didn't talk about
my dad.
Yeah.
Where did we begin?
Or just like maybe in the sense of like how it's been like not lore, but in your family, like I don't know, like the curse of it all, right? Like
so growing up, like when I was really young, like when I was like toddler, I would say, my family was doing pretty well financially. Like my dad owned a pretty successful business. He worked in like clothing manufacturing, which is funny. Like I feel like fashion has actually been kind of
a motif.
Part of my family. Like my mom was a fashion designer before she immigrated to America, and she did like all of my dance costumes growing up. She did like seamstress kind of work, and in order for me to be able to dance. And
then she's got to see you walk the runway.
Yeah, which has been cool, because I feel like she has an appreciation for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas like some people, they just like don't really care for it.
Right.
But I feel like because my mom is like always looking at like magazines and like keeping up with the latest trends, like she does have an appreciation for that kind of stuff. But my dad, so he was a business owner and he had like a pretty successful business, and my family for a long time was like very financially stable, I would say. And then I think I was probably like, I want to say like 5 or 6 when this happened. My dad got into a very serious like plane accident.
Yeah.
And it's crazy now looking back, because I feel like, I don't know because I was a kid, but I feel like our family probably didn't take the best precautions or steps to combat everything that happened afterwards.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't know if he was flying from LA to Taiwan or from Taiwan to LA, but there was this huge plane crash and he like jumped out of the plane without a parachute or anything. And he didn't get hurt. He left with not a single like scar or scab. Whereas like I think the majority of the people on the flight either died. Or had like life-changing injuries. Yeah.
This is in the news, by the way.
Yes.
I've looked it up.
Yes, and my dad is like mentioned in an article.
Yes.
But it's crazy because right after that event happened, everything started going downhill for my family. Like I think first it started with my dad's business and going bankrupt, and then having to like sell our house. And then I think because of all the financial issues, there also were more problems between my mom and my dad and their relationship.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, they probably are just like not that compatible. But but I think that the money piece played a big part of it too. And then that's when like my mom started working, and then that's when my dad became more absent. We moved around a lot. I lived with a lot of different family members too, and we couldn't like afford our own place. Honestly, like the majority, I think that another reason that like my mom plays a big part in my life is like we got really close because of the challenges. And for most of my childhood, I shared a bedroom with my mom and we slept in the same bed. So like I have just always been so close to my mom, just based on like the circumstances that I grew up in. But yeah, it's crazy because it almost felt like, in a way, the fact that my dad was alive meant that like all these other parts of his life had to like go downhill. It was like in exchange for his life, like everything else had to like
a little like deal with the devil. Like
a little bit. I hate to think about it that way, but it kind of feels like that. Like life was like, I feel like for him going pretty smoothly until that accident, and then then everything changed after that. And I was too young to like know really what happened after. Of course. But looking back, I'm like, did he ever like get any type of like mental treatment for this? Like, I'm sure to this day he is like PTSD from that. Yeah. Also, my family never like filed a lawsuit or anything against the airline, which I'm like, dang, we missed out on.
Well, yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm like, I know there was so much going on. I'm like, I wonder if my dad got like the proper care from such a traumatic thing.
Something I'm gathering. and maybe it's wrong, but like a lot of those things and a lot of those challenges that resulted from it, like, are like a big part of you and like part of your journey to like becoming like so resilient and so capable, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like my mom really instilled in me this idea that like regardless of like what your circumstances are or what existing resources you have, like you have to do everything in your power to be able to be the best version of yourself, to prove yourself, even in like settings where you may not necessarily feel like the most prepared or like the best in the room type of thing. I don't know. I feel like my mom has just told me like, you got to fight harder than other people, you know, like if you're not, it's not necessarily always like a level playing field. So like you have to work extra hard, and that's not a bad thing. Yeah. I am not a super vulnerable person. And I'm not usually one to like share all of these more intimate parts of my life with just anyone. I feel like this was like the perfect way to do that because I feel so comfortable talking to you, and I love that you've done a great job in like building out your podcast, and this is like the perfect platform and setting for me to be a little bit more vulnerable. And I hope whoever is like watching or listening takes something from it, even if it's like one little helpful bit. Yeah. Or something that you heard and you're like, I'm not doing that. That's helpful too.
Yeah, literally. But I mean, yeah, you are someone who just has so much wisdom to share.
I don't always feel like a super wise person, but I do feel very comfortable in like being myself. And I feel like that's something that I am like confidently proud to say. It's like, I'm proud to be myself. Yeah. Whether that's wise or not wise, this is me.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get on that level. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you. Yay!